Welcome back. We're at Pluckers. Welcome back. Pluckers is the site, Longhorn Weekly. We are happy to be joined by the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year. Prince, what was your reaction when you found out that yesterday?
I guess I was a bit surprised. I didn't think about it much throughout the season. I've always thought of myself as the best defender, but as far as the award goes, I just didn't put much thought into it. So it was surprising, and I felt good about it, of course.
Understatement, Coach, but that kind of sums Prince up, doesn't it?
Well, it's a well-deserved award, and it's one of the things that, you want to see your guys get recognized, and you want to see them be shown the respect that they deserve. I think Prince is a guy that is a very, very talented and very, very impactful member of our team. And so it's really nice for people outside of our team to recognize that. I think our guys have known for a long, long time how good of a defender he is.
What is the key, Prince? Because obviously with what comes with block shots is foul trouble, potentially. What's the key to be a good shot blocker but be able to stay in the ballgame?
I struggled with that a little bit early on, finding the kind of line of aggressiveness to play with. I found myself in foul trouble a lot. I think what helped was just being engaged more of the time and not kind of resting up and finding myself out of position, because in those times is when I pick up the fouls. So just kind of staying alert the whole time and being on edge, ready to play, ready to make those plays and get myself in a good position too.
What's he allow you guys to do defensively?
Well, Prince is extremely versatile as a defender. There was a play, what was it, Oklahoma game, where Prince actually found himself, he had switched onto one of their perimeter guys, and that player was running off of a staggered screen, so it's two screens kind of back to back. And Prince is chasing this guy full speed off of a stagger, and you just never see guys at Prince's size do that. I mean, it's just, I don't know when the last time was I saw that. And he chased it so well that it forced the opposing player to set a moving screen on him, and it was a turnover. So he's just an extremely versatile player. He can literally guard 1 through 5. And he said it, he used a couple words there, engaged and alert. When he's at a high level in those areas, he's as good as there is defensively at this level, and I think even at the next level, he's a special, special defender.
You told us in a media gathering that Prince is so much smarter than you guys, and you shouldn't have apologized, first of all, because we know that. But I know he's a deep thinker. I hear behind the scenes you guys have some pretty deep conversations. Is it stray from basketball?
No, I think a lot of what we do applies to life. And so those deep moments that I have, I just kind of apply those things to it, and it normally goes the same way hand in hand with basketball.
Do you get into it with him, Shaka?
Well, Prince is a guy that a lot of the stuff we talk about, it's related to basketball, but it's not necessarily basketball. So we might talk about, say, the mindset you have to be at your best. So that's not necessarily X's and O's or dribbling or shooting or passing a basketball. And Prince always has some terrific insights. And there's a quote that we like to use a statement he made over the summer. He said, when you focus on the things that you control, the things that you don't control tend to work out in your favor. And I don't think anyone could have said it any better than that. You're talking about one of the brightest guys that I've ever been around, basketball aside, just all around. And someday when he's rich and famous and owns his own company and owns his own country, maybe he'll remember us little people.
Did you have to adjust your mindset, Prince, when Cam went down and you knew your minutes were going to go up and they were going to count on you a little bit more?
Yeah, I did, and it didn't happen immediately. Early on, I kind of played poor, I would say. And he kind of talked me through it a little bit and just told me just kind of play like the guy he's been practicing against. And that kind of just helped me ease into it and just kind of play with more confidence, and things just kind of flow from there.
Prince, talk a little bit about your relationship with Cam, because it's a unique thing. And Roger, just so you know, our guys kind of look at it. Sometimes they joke and they say that Prince is Cam's father. But they, in practice, obviously they've gone head to head for 4 years, and they're also very, very close off the court. So just talk about that a little bit.
I think why they say that is when we all first got here, Cam was a little timid and a little shy. and I think I just kind of helped him out of that. And he's just being more around himself, more around other people instead of just kind of keeping that in the circle around his close tight friends. And we just been real close since I got here, and helped each other get better every day. And him going down was what gave me my opportunity to kind of come through and show what I could do.
You had a cool Instagram after that Vanderbilt game with that back-to-back double-double. You want to kind of share what you said to Cam, because you guys had a great moment. First turnover of the night. You had a great moment after you checked out of the game.
Immediately after I checked out the game, kind of gave me a hug, and we kind of embraced it. And most people in those situations, you see, they wouldn't be that happy for you, especially because he's the one who went down. So kind of him more than anyone, to see him that happy for me just made me feel better about it. And just knowing he was there in my corner, that's what the Instagram post was about.
One thing that's pretty neat, Roger, is, at this age where these guys are, when you play the same position or a similar position as another guy, let's face it, you're somewhat in competition for minutes and for opportunities. But these guys pull for one another. They're happy for one another. Prince was really happy for Cam early on when he was having success. Cam was really been happy for Prince, all the success he's having. But you're still a human being. You want to have success too. And so the exciting thing is they've both had measures of success, Cam early on and Prince throughout the conference season. And hopefully, Prince can continue with the play he's had. And maybe we'll get Cam back. And, the exciting thing, I think, with what Prince has done, in fact, I know with what Prince has done this year, when Cam comes back, it's not like it's going to go back to the way it was. I think if Cam, knock on wood, if he's able to come back, you're going to be able to see these guys playing together a whole lot more. And that could be a really exciting thing.
There's some deep conversation. Then there's something on my level. So I'm going to ask you guys, Steph Curry or LeBron James?
I got LeBron.
Why?
Usually LeBron. I feel like if you switch LeBron and Curry right now, you put LeBron on the Warriors, they're doing the same thing. They're just as successful as they are. But if you switch Curry over to the Cavs, I don't think they're going anywhere.
Rebuttal?
I don't think you can really argue with his logic, but, based on who's had the better season, I think Steph Curry is the MVP of the season. Who's a better player all around? I don't think you can really top LeBron right now. But with what Curry's doing, it's just unbelievable with the way he's putting the ball in the basket. And again, they're winning at a historic level.
Well, Shaka and LeBron kind of have a common thread, which is going to come up a little bit later in the show. But we're going to continue to visit with Prince Ibeh as Longhorn Weekly continues from Pluckers on the Longhorn IMG Radio Network and LA10.
Up top to Connor Lambert, now to Kerwin Roach. Snoop with a high screen set by Ibeh, rolls the dribble toward the foul line. Roach lobbing it in for Ibeh, goes up and slams it down with a foul. Prince going up strong, got the bucket and one.
As Texas put away Oklahoma State. Welcome back to Pluckers, and we're visiting with senior Prince Ibeh. And Prince, I talked with Coach about it, but you come off such an emotional night against Kansas, the senior night, and then you got to regroup against Oklahoma State. What was kind of the mindset during the week to make sure you guys were sharp Friday night?
I think just getting back to the things we did and focusing on what we needed to improve on, kind of ensuring we didn't show up with that kind of lackadaisical effort again. So the primary thing was just having good practices and then to make sure that translated over to the games.
What is it about this team late in the ballgame? Because you guys have done this in a lot of ballgames. Where do you build your confidence that a tight game is something you guys can come out on top on?
I think it comes from us just caring deeply for each other. In those moments deep late in the game, you just kind of look at each other and tell each other to dig down deep. And especially that week going into the game, if you practice hard, you've been in those situations, you can kind of call on that to help you in those moments. But if you don't do those in the first place, then you have nothing to go on for.
Shaka said, I don't know, once or twice about the term connected. What does that mean to you and the guys, and maybe what did it mean when you first started working with them compared to, how you've seen that term maybe grow and how you relate to it?
Originally, it kind of took a while for us to kind of embrace it and go on by it. I think it just means kind of care about what's going on with your teammates than you do yourself. Kind of having what the team's goal in the front of your mind. And that just kind of helps everything flow, and it helps your mind not be clouded by outside things.
How important is it for you to graduate this May? Because that's quite an accomplishment for a four-year guy.
It's very important. Coming here, especially a degree from this university, just something I know my mother really wanted me to do, and something I wanted to do for myself. So it took a while, but I'm just proud of how it's going.
Your path to Austin has been a little different than most. You were born in London. You moved to West Texas and Amarillo, and then spend your high school days in Garland. What has that road been like for you as you've grown up as a person and moved around a little bit?
As you can imagine, going from London to Amarillo was a bit of a culture shock. I don't think it took that long for me to adjust, though. Maybe a year or two, I lost my accent and all that. So moving to Dallas, I say it was pretty easy. I was high school teammates with DeMarcus, and I actually played basketball late. So just kind of, I said that's kind of what's going into me kind of getting better as with more experience and more time. I started basketball late, so I haven't been playing for as long as these other guys.
Because you wanted to play soccer or football?
I played football.
And you just outgrew it? Or, I mean, look at you now, wide receiver, undefendable.
Yeah, I outgrew it. I was real thin back then as well. And remember my high school coach told me that if I grew anymore, I wouldn't be able to play football any longer. And I think that summer I grew about 3 or 4 inches. And I just realized that it wasn't going to work out in football.
I think one of the great moments this season was the TCU game, and your free throw shooting has, it's been talked about, and you stepped up and hit 5 out of 6, and your coach is smiling, the arena's going nuts. What was that like for you?
It was just relieving to finally have it go in. I was in practice, I was shooting it well over and over, and in the game, I would kind of just think about past failures and just kind of mess up with my routine and my technique. And when one finally fell down, it was kind of like just a relief and some weight lifted off me, and then the rest of them were kind of easy.
You also become more of an offensive threat with your increased minutes. A couple of double-doubles. You had 17 in that game. You back it up with 13 against Vanderbilt. Is that fun? I know you pride yourself on being a defender and a shot blocker, but, I mean, everybody likes to put the ball in the basket.
Yeah, it's definitely fun. I work at it every day, so when it does translate in those games and those moments, you just see your work actually paying off for you. It's enjoyable.
Your front line group is a pretty small one with Cam out. How have you and Shaq and Connor kind of carried the load of the guys down low? I mean, Tevin has to play the 4 sometimes, but that's asking a lot in the Big 12 Conference.
Luckily, we were all old guys and experienced, and we had been through a lot. So we kind of were all ready for the moment, especially when Cam went down. I think the best thing is just that we go at each other every day harder than what any other team could go at us with. And with that approach, and anytime a game comes, we're ready for it.
I know assistant coach Darren Horn has meant a lot to your development. What has he brought to you that's helped you grow?
I think the most important thing he's done for me is not allow me to take any days or any plays off. He's never too happy for me. And he's always there to kind of put me in check when I need it and make sure my efforts maintained so I can continue to get better.
Well, this is the greatest time of year in college basketball, Prince. You were there in Milwaukee a couple of years ago when Cam had the buzzer beater to beat Arizona State. How much fun is this time of year for you guys?
It's very fun. There's no other time like it, especially being my last time down the road. I'm just focused on making sure we leave everything out there and having no regrets.
Got to ask you about Baylor. It's a long team, very athletic. What's kind of your thumbnail scouting report and what has to get done to win this game on Thursday?
I think we just need to play aggressively and confidently and do the things that we know we do well. And just kind of worry about more what we do well than the things they do. I think if we do that and focus on us, doing it at a high level, I think we'll be okay.
When Shaka came in last April and the veterans had to get to know him, what was kind of the initial meetings like, the impressions? You got to do the Navy SEAL stuff, a lot of stuff we see. What was all that like adjusting to you had to know was going to be a big change.
It was a little weird, actually. He was so energetic, always running around. So we had to take some getting used to, especially from how things used to be. But I think when we finally kind of embraced him, just kind of took on the identity, we realized a lot of stuff he talked on early on, we kind of just blew it over or didn't pay much attention to it. We didn't think it was that important. And then going on, we kind of started off sluggish, and then you kind of saw what he was talking about, the things that went into winning, the connectivity and things like that. And you go back and think on it, and you see the reason we did all that stuff, the Navy SEALs training, and having the enthusiasm and picking each other up, because it's necessary if we want to do the things that we want to do.
One of the cool things about this team is that you could pick a game or a time, and everybody's had their moment this season. How important is that to kind of the morale of the team to know that everybody's going to get their chance?
I think it's very important. We don't rely on one guy too much. We're a deep team, and we're never too down if someone's messing up. We just always pick each other up. And I think, especially going into these tournaments, these postseason tournaments, I think that's important. I think going around and kind of preparing for us in a short amount of time is difficult if we're doing the things we need to do. So,
what would it be like to play against Isaiah the way he hits the deck after every layup attempt?
If I was the opposing team, I'd probably be frustrated because he gets a lot of calls that way.
He doesn't think he gets enough.
Probably never will.
Prince, we appreciate it. Best of luck in Kansas City and beyond, and great luck to you in your future after graduating from Texas.
Thank you.
Longhorn senior Prince Ibeh, your Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year. Shaka Smart rejoins me as Longhorn Weekly continues on the Longhorn IMG Radio Network and Longhorn Network.